Put the tray right here. He'll be assisting the doctor from his left side. Don't worry, you'll do just fine.
I'll be all right as soon as we get started.
Dr. Lacey, we've been waiting for you.
I got here as soon as I could. This rain's got the whole town tied up.
I know, it's been coming down like that all day.
Is the patient ready?
Patient's just about ready, Doctor. Give me a few minutes more.
All right, let me have the background on the patient.
There's not much to tell.
You mean there's no medical history on the patient? Who made the decision to operate?
The chief of staff looked at the CAT scan and the x-ray, made the decision.
We need some sort of medical history on the patient.
His name is William Cutter. He's 38 years old, amputee, left hand. Seemed in good health before the heart attack. Well, the only information we have is from the neighbor, the one who found him and called the ambulance.
There must be more information than that.
He's lived in the same home all his life. His mother passed away. His wife died about a year ago. Can't seem to locate his father. He doesn't seem to have any friends or relatives that we know of.
Sounds like he's had it pretty rough, all right.
Doctor, this is Nurse Andrews. She'll be assisting us. It's her first bypass.
There's nothing to worry about, Andrews. You're working with the best cut and stitch team in the business. Right, Evans?
We haven't lost one yet.
Thank you, Doctor. I feel better already.
Doctor, the patient's pulse and respiration are stable. He's ready now.
All right, let's get started. This won't be a piece of cake, but if we go in and do it by the numbers, maybe we can keep... What's the patient's name?
William Cutter.
William. Well, let's see if we can keep Billy here around for a few more years. Scalpel.
Somebody should tell this guy not to waste his time. With the kind of luck I have, the odds of my coming through this alive are about 1,000,000 to 1. Some guys always draw the short straws, and when they roll the dice, they come up snake eyes. Why should this be any different? It's funny the things you remember at a time like this. Maybe it's the rain. It was raining that night, too. I was 7 years old, and my father had come home drunk again. Nothing unusual about that, but this night was different. This was the night he left us. That's not completely true. He never really left me. He was always there in the back of my mind.
You think I'm tough on you, don't you? I guess you think I like waking you up at 1 o'clock in the morning, huh? Why, when I was your age, if I had broken a glass and tried to hide it the way you tried to do, my dad would have taken me out back of the woodshed, laid into me with a leather strap until I couldn't sit down anymore. That's the kind of man he was, my dad. And it made a man out of me. So maybe that's what I ought to do to you. Well, why don't you say something? What's the matter with you, Billy boy? You too damn dumb to answer me or what? You must think money grows on trees. I gotta break my back every day to pay the rent, buy a little food, put clothes on your back. If I didn't have you and your mother to take care of, I could have really got someplace in this world. Every time I come home, there you are, playing around instead of doing your chores. That's all you ever think of, playing with your toys and goofing off. It's tough out there, boy. It's a tough world to make it in. The Jews and the black have taken over everywhere. People like us can't even find a job anymore. Are you listening, boy? Are you listening, boy? Are you listening, boy? Don't you ever say that again. That's right, throw it up in my face. You have a job and I don't. You think I like coming to you for money? I can't help it I've got laid off. It's not my fault.
Please, all I said was that we have to cut down on expenses now, that's all. Just blowing everything all out of proportion. Should be happy that I have a job, so that we can still pay our bills.
Uh-huh, to buy that spoiled brat all the toys he wants.
Don't you talk about my son that way.
I've had it with you and that dumb kid. I'm leaving. You'll both probably like that better anyway.
Don't worry, Billy. Everything will be all right. Mommy's here and I love you. Look what Mommy brought for you. Everything will be all right, Billy, honey.
How's your blood pressure?
Well, class, I'm pleased to report that everyone has passed the test.
Everyone, that is, except William Cutter, as usual. Well, Billy, I just don't know what I'm going to do with you. All of the other children can keep up with their work. Why can't you? If you're not off fighting with your classmates, you're drifting off in a dream world all your own. Maybe we should call you Billy the Dreamer.
Everything will be all right, Billy, honey. Mommy's here, and we don't need anybody as long as we have each other. As long as we have each other. Mommy's here.
Well, Mr. Cutter, I've been looking over your records, and I can say one thing for you, at least you're consistent. I'd be hard-pressed to find even one school year in which you haven't been in trouble. Do you have anything to say for yourself, William? I see you've been kicked out of 4 schools in the past 5 years. Since you've been with us, you've been suspended 3 times. You've spent hours in detention. You spend more time in this office than you do in your classes. And if you can't give me a good reason for striking a teacher, I'm afraid we'll have to let you go for good this time, Mr. Cutter.
Go ahead, Billy. Tell him. Tell him why you hit that man. Nobody talks about your mother that way. Go on and tell him.
William, I realize you need special help, but we don't have the time or the finances available for special classes. Maybe you should consider joining the Army. Maybe they can straighten you out. Because frankly, Mr. Cutter, we give up.
You haven't got the guts. You've never finished anything you've ever started in your life. You in the Army? Now that I would like to see. You haven't got the guts.
Good morning, William. I hope you had a good night's sleep. Because today is a very special day for you. We are going to let you go back to your people today. I knew that would please you. It was all a terrible mistake, you being here at all. Your government is just beginning to realize it should not have interfered in what has always been a civil conflict between two political parties here in Vietnam. Much like the Democrats and Republicans in your own country. I hope you won't have harsh thoughts about us when you are home with your family and friends. We only did what we had to do. You came here to fight a war. We did not invite you.
I don't think he likes you.
That's enough said on the subject. I am sure you want to prepare yourself for the long trip ahead of you. Good luck, William. I almost forgot to tell you, William. You received a telegram from the Red Cross last month. Your mother has died.
Uh-oh. Mommy's dead. You don't believe it? I don't think you believe the man. We've put together a little party for your son. Me and a couple of your friends. Go on, take a look. Look there. Look.
Hi, Billy. We've been waiting for you.
Yep, that's her, all right.
You want boom boom, GI? Just a little money. You got lots of money. I'll show you good time, honey.
You got Chop Chop, GI? Maybe some candy for me? I think you're number one, GI.
Hi, Billy. Welcome home. I was really sorry to hear about your accident, Billy. Look, Billy, there's something we have to talk about, and there's really no need putting it off any longer. I mean, I know it was rough for you in Vietnam, but it was rough back here, too, for me. I mean, all the loneliness. God, I can't believe how lonely I was. I had to take your picture out to remember what you looked like. And then one day I had lunch with a friend from work, and I laughed, Billy. I actually laughed. I can't believe how long it had been since I'd laughed. He saved my life, Billy. I was dying inside, and I was so lonely. And I want a divorce, Billy, as soon as possible. Don't look at me that way. I mean, for God's sakes, it's not my fault. Why don't you say something to me?
Something's wrong.
Pulse, respiration, and blood pressure, they're dropping.
We're losing him.
All right, let's not panic. Prepare 1 half sodium bicarb, stat. Keep an eye on those vital signs. You stay here and assist me. I'm going to try a heart massage. You have to move faster than that, Andrews.
Yes, doctor.
No response, doctor.
Anything?
Nothing, doctor.
All right, let's try the paddles. All right, clear. Anything?
Nothing, doctor.
Clear.
No response, doctor.
Mr. Cutter, you can go in now.
Well, Mr. Cutter, I see you spent some time in Vietnam. Oh, that whole thing was a horrible mess, wasn't it? Well, the quicker we all just put it behind us, the better, right?
Don't you realize this boy's a hero?
Oh, I see you were a machine operator in the Army. Of course, you realize that with only the one hand, our safety regulations won't allow you to operate machinery anymore. Now, if only you had more of an educational background, well, we could train you for a management position. But, Mr. Cutter, you've only had 10 years of school. Well, we do have our minimum requirements here. Though I'm afraid the best I can offer you is a position in our custodial department.
You finally reached your goal, a one-armed janitor.
I got a job, Billy. It's not much, but between the two of us, it'll work out all right. I'll marry you, Billy, and then I'll always be here with you. I promise. I'll always love you, Billy. Always. I'll always love you, Billy. Always.
All right, come on, Billy. You gotta try too. Clear.
We have a heartbeat, doctor.
We did it.
Yeah, it does look as though Mr. William Cutter is back among the living. All right, let's finish the job and close him up. Sutures. The rest will be up to you, Billy.
I have a surprise for you. We're gonna have a baby. I'm not really sure I believe it happened myself. I put little Billy down for his nap just like I always do. He was so tired. He must have crawled over every inch of the house this morning. You know how he is. Won't stay still for a minute. He's such an active baby. I went into the kitchen to warm up some lunch. He's always so hungry when he wakes up. When I went in to check on him, just like I always do, he was... The doctors say it's something called crib death, and that there's no way of knowing when or how or why it happens to a baby. He said not to blame myself because there's nothing I could have done. You see, Billy, it's not my fault our baby is dead. Honey, it's not my fault. The doctor said not to blame myself because there's nothing I could have done. My darling Billy, let me begin by saying that I love you more than life itself. I made you a promise when we got married. I said I'd always love you, and that I'd never leave you. I'd never let you down. I will always love you, honey, but I can't help feeling I've let you down. It's been almost 5 years since little Billy died, and I can't stop feeling there was something I could have done to prevent it from happening. And now, honey, I'm going to disappoint you again. By the time you read this, I'll be with our baby again. I hope you will understand, Billy. I just can't live with this guilt anymore. All my love. Always. Karen.
Doctor, he's waking up.
Oh, hello? Mr. Cutter, close those blinds, nurse. I think the light's bothering him.
Yes, doctor.
Billy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, you're in a hospital. You had a heart attack, but you're all right. All these wires and tubes are hooked to a life support system. Just to give your heart a little helping hand for a few days. Then when you're strong enough, we'll take you off the machine. By the way, my name is Dr. Lacey, and this is Nurse Stevens.
Hi, Billy.
We had to operate on you yesterday, Billy. Put a few fancy stitches in your heart. It was touch and go for a while, but we made it. You made it.
Yeah, we made it.
Listen, I want you to listen to me because I have something important to say to you. While you were on the operating table, you died for a few seconds. But you came back. You came back because you're a fighter. I know you've had it pretty tough up to now. But this is your second chance. And you and I couldn't have done this by ourselves. Somebody up there thinks you deserve a second chance. I promise you I'll do everything I can to help.
Thank you, Doctor. I don't know why, but I do want that second chance.
You get some rest. I'll be back later to check with you.
Excuse me, Doctor. At the risk of sounding corny, I'd just like to say that I've never been so moved. You really care about your patient.
Well, of course I care. If I didn't care about people, I wouldn't be in this profession.
Well, pardon me, I was just trying to pay you a compliment.
Look, we've got to get together on this. You're going to be taking care of him during his recovery. If he doesn't want to live, all the doctors and medicine in the world are not going to keep him alive. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes, Doctor, I understand.
It's been a long night. What do you say we talk about it over a cup of coffee? I'll buy.
But what about Mr. Cutter? Should we leave him alone just yet?
Oh, I think he'll be all right. What he needs now is rest. We'll just turn out the light and let him get some sleep. Up to you, Nurse Stevens.
Why, thank you, Dr. Lacey.
You know, when I graduated from medical school 10 years ago, I realized it was